Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is the first podcast in the channel, and I think I will be working on a lot of podcasts. So this is the official podcast of my channel. So today I'm with my friend, and he's from Myanmar too, and he's currently studying in Chula, and I would like to talk about how he studied for IELTS and how he got that score. So can you introduce yourself?
Hello everybody, I'm YK. I'm from Mandalay, Myanmar, and I am currently studying in the same faculty as Tane, but under different professor.
Which year are you in?
I am currently on my first year of my master's degree.
I see. And how's your master life here so far?
Overwhelming, anxious, but you have helped me through a lot.
I hope. Good thing. So today the podcast style is not with too strict, but like a friendly conversation, and I will learn from him, and also you can learn from him. We will share things. So let's start with the IELTS. What kind of band score did you get in IELTS?
I got 8. I won't go 8.5. I think it's 8.
Why did you take IELTS?
IELTS is, I think it's probably because I needed I didn't really take IELTS. I took PTE.
Oh, what's the difference between PTE and IELTS?
I would say that PTE is, people might think that it's a little bit easier compared to IELTS, but overall I would say that it's the same, because in a PTE you do have to do it on your own when it comes to reading, listening and writing, but in IELTS you still have that element of talking to a human in a speaking test, but in a PTE test you have to just talk into a mic, and the software that's its own thing when it comes to recording and displaying questions.
Mm-hmm. So how do you know it's in IELTS 8? What's how do you convert the score?
So most of the English tests you can cross-reference them into what band you got. Mm-hmm. And I think it's all across all of the English tests, including IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC, I think even with CU, TEP, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Oh, I see. So I thought you directly take the IELTS test, but no, you take the what is that?
I took a PTE test.
PTE test. Oh, I see. Mostly, which country use PTE test?
To my knowledge, I think it's widely accepted in New Zealand and Australia, but I have heard that there are other countries who also accept the PTE test results. But again, to my knowledge, only New Zealand and Australia.
How about when you applied to Chula, did you use PTE?
Yes, I did.
Then you can just apply with this, right? So,
yes.
Oh, I see.
Yes, but I don't think PTE is well known in Thailand. Mm-hmm. So I think it depends on the faculty. If you are thinking about applying a scholarship, a Chula scholarship with PTE, I think you need to research more, depending on your faculty. But I would say that overall impression from the schools in Thailand is that they would ask what PTE is. So you might have to do a little bit more explaining. But I think I got in, so I have no reason to believe that others wouldn't get in as well. So.
I see. What PTE? What can you explain a little bit about the PTE? So it's new for me too.
It's PTE is, I think, is Pearson English Test something. It is made up by a professor in Australia, I think. But I think all language tests would always ask for 4 things, right? It's all these 4 things, like, but I think only the format is a little bit different. It's all testing your speaking skills, reading skills, writing skills. But I would say that with PTE, you're just looking at a computer screen, right? And you're only I would say that you're looking at a computer screen, so there's the lack of human interaction. It does get to you. So when I took my PTE, it was really like when I got into the exam room, the first thought was this was also this. I didn't really learn PTE on my own. I joined a center that taught us how to tackle different questions and different sections of the test. So they would always guide us to what to do when we go into the exam room. So it's all about testing the mic, testing, making sure all the equipments are working. And I think my first time getting into the exam room it was pretty. I would say that it was strange, because that was my first time taking PTE. So I found it strange to be in an exam room where there's not like an interviewer or examiner. But I think you can also get that kind of experience when you take IELTS computer based. But I'm not sure. I have not taken IELTS computer based, so it might be different from person to person. Yeah.
In Mandalay, did you take in Mandalay?
No.
Where did you take?
No, for the PTE you have to go to Yangon. I believe right now there's 2 test centers in Yangon, but none in Mandalay. But you can take IELTS in Mandalay. But I think computer-based IELTS is only available in Yangon.
Oh, I see. So I heard that, like, you told me that you also teach IELTS, right? How long have you been teaching, and a little bit about your experience?
Teaching is just something that I started when I got back into the country. It's just something that I enjoyed. I would say that it's very, when you explain something to someone and they finally understood that, you had that euphoria, you gain that happiness. And I think that was the start of my teaching career, you could say. But I would say that I don't think I was a good teacher, to be honest.
Why you enjoyed it, right?
I enjoyed it, but to be perfectly honest, I think that there are tons of teachers who could have put in more care into crafting their the way they teach their students, the way they approach. I'm not saying that I did a bad job. I did the best I could, but I would say that I feel like I owe it to them to be a better teacher.
For take your PTE test, like, how long did you prepare? How long did you prepare to take the test, and also like how you prepare your English, like since the beginning, or since your childhood, or how do you prepare?
So I think I think everyone in Myanmar has to start learning English when, like, I don't think. Okay, so I think we in our education system, it is necessary that we take up English, right? But I don't think I remember vividly about this. But since we were really really young, me and my brother were asked to memorize like 2 pages worth of vocabularies by our dad. And he would beat us up.
He would beat
yeah, he would beat us up if we can't memorize 2 pages. If I'm sure, I think that's like 2 lessons worth of vocabularies, and we would have to recite it back to him. He would ask us randomly, and if we can't answer correctly, he would beat us up. And I think my brother would say the same thing too. If he were here, we hated we hated it so much that I think we started to resent learning. We started to hate learning. Like, it was, I don't think it's not even, I wouldn't even use the words dislike. We hated learning, because when you're a kid, you just want to play around, just want to do stuff. So but we were asked to do that, and then we were put into a tuition where almost I would say that almost a native teacher. He is ethnically Chin, and he speaks really really good English, and he was a teacher in ILBC. So if you think about ILBC back in the day, ILBC was king, right? Most of the I think they even had foreigners back in the days. Like, but right now you have a lot of, right now our country has a lot of international schools. So, but I would say that back then he was really good. He was really attentive. He was really he was a good teacher, to be honest. And I think we owe it a lot to him. Me and my brother owe it a lot to him that we speak a good level of English. But when we were young, we hated going to that tuition, and it was dreadful. But I mean, I would say it's again, like, I think it might be different from person to person. I don't want to say that everyone should follow what I say, right? Because I think it works differently when it comes to language learning, right? But a general rule that you have to follow is that you need to be in touch with that language. Doesn't matter what language. It doesn't even matter. It could be a scale. It could be a scale, right? Doesn't matter. It could be a language. It could be a scale. It could be something, right? You have to keep practicing. You have to have a limit. I don't say that. It doesn't matter. It could be an hour a day. It could be 2. I think you just need to keep practicing until you get good at it. Even right now, like, I wouldn't say that I am still studying English an hour a day. I don't, right? I don't. We don't do that anymore. We just we browse on the internet. We see all of we see all of these websites and articles that are written in English. And I think if you really think about it, those becomes the study sessions. I would say those would replace the study sessions. But I would say that overall, you do need to increase your I don't want to say steady hours, but you need to increase moments of you interacting with a skill or a language. Yeah.
How long did you prepare for PTE? Just PTE exam?
For the PTE, I don't think you really need to prep much. But if you, for me, I only did 2 hours a day.
For how long?
For 2 months. But if it were up to me, I wouldn't study 2 hours a day.
Why you study?
But our PTE lecturer would send all of the students in the class messages like homeworks and push us to study and practice more. So, and you also have to report it back to her. So if you don't do it, I mean, she's not there in person, but she would send like a litany of messages like of her disapproving students not studying. So we will push through the internet. We were pushed to study. Yeah.
The lecturer is a foreigner or Myanmar?
She is a Myanmar. She's based in Australia, and they have a automated system already set up. So all you have to do is go to their website, sign up, and then you can start using their services.
What's the name? I will show.
It's Alchemist Academy.
Okay, I will show the website in the video. So what kind of resources like did you use, like for general English or for PTE? Like you can say two things. Like for general English, what kind of resources you use, and also for PTE, what kind of resources are useful? Or also IELTS. You teach IELTS, so for IELTS too.
Okay. I'm not gonna give. I think everyone can search most of its stuff on Google, right? With just like, yeah. So you can search on Google. There are a lot of free resources that are available on different topics. But for PTE, I mainly use that automated AI service that was provided by the Alchemist Academy, and nothing else. I did exactly what was offered from that service, and I didn't do anything at all. I just only used the Alchemist AI websites, and they have a good system. Like they have a good systems already set up for you. So I think you just need to follow the directions from that website. But for the general English, I would say that I don't think you should spend money on resources on like general English, because I don't think they're not necessary. They're not necessary. Not only they're not necessary, some of them are useless, some of them are not up to date. So I think for general English, just increase your usage, just try to interact with that language more. Like for example, if you're studying English, just try to interact with English, or you can just use English. I don't think if you have if you're friends, you can just start talking to them in English, right? It doesn't matter if they understand. I mean, it'd be better if they understand. but yeah, I think you can just start using with the sentence here and the sentence there, and it doesn't have to be complex sentences. Like it could be like some of the vocabulary could be like things that you've seen on the internet, things that you've read on the articles. Just overall, just like using the language more will help you increase your general English. But for the IELTS, I don't want to say that I don't want to point on specific resources, but I think I think for IELTS you have to be, and I don't think no one should take my word for it, but I'll try to give the general guidelines that you can follow, right? You could, but you don't have to. But for you have 4 subjects, right? So reading, listening, writing, and then speaking. But for speaking, you just have to pick a partner. And I think you can just search on Facebook, and you can even Google it on like getting a speaking partner, right? But for the reading, the general rules that you should follow is putting yourself on a timer, even when you're practicing, because when you actually go to an exam, you have to there's a time limit for. So if I'm there's 3 passages in reading and 1 hour limit, so you only have 20 minutes per passage, right? And I think you should at least spend like 90 minutes on answering the questions and one minute just to go through the answer. So, but yeah, I think you should always put yourself on the timer just to get that practice going. And I think reading is you really need to you really need to highlight the important points, because most of the questions that are in the reading passages are mostly on the important points of the topic. So just by, I don't think you can you can't bring a highlighter into into a reading like into the exam room, but just like with when you're practicing, you can just highlight the important point, and then you can trick your brain into reading the important points and then getting them into your head quickly than other useless information. But for the writing, I think everything is related. All four of them are related. So for writing, I would say that you can read sample answers on the internet, and again, don't take those sample answers too hard. Even the sample answers, you can spot the mistakes in them. So just by reading and then getting the idea of how to tackle a topic, I think just having more exposure to these topics that are being asked in the exam is really, really helpful. But for listening, I think listening and speaking are intertwined. But I mean, it'll be a gold mine if you can find an English speaking partner that is a native speaker, right? But I don't think no one can, and unless you're very, very lucky. But yeah,
I think if you go to like native country, like native speaking country, English native country like England or US or Australia, I think you can find easily.
Yeah. Even then, I think you really need to. When it comes to native speakers, a lot of people say, "Oh, native speaker, this their native language, right?" But even to native speaker, you might have problem understanding different accents. So, like if you go to Australia, they have their own accent, and I think they even have their own vocabularies. And the same with the UK, the same with America and Canada. So I think it all depends on you. But I would say that in IELTS, every usage is accepted. Like, doesn't matter. It could be Australian, it could be British, it could be American. Yeah, I think the more practice that you have, the better you'll do in the exam.
How about IELTS? Like, how to say the listening? What they open, is it in which accent? Like in any accent, or like mostly British?
In a British accent. Yeah.
How about the interviewer? Can be, I think, British.
For the interview, I think it depends, because if you are in Mandalay, some of the interviewers are local. But I think they have changed from. I think a friend of a sister. My friend's sister went into the IELTS interview, and I believe she was asked through Zoom, through online, by a native speaker, British. Yeah.
How to take IELTS and how to take PTE exam?
For PTE, you have to go to. Oh, this is what I did. For PTE, I had to go to the exam center. I believe we went there 2 hours early. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think earlier than the exam time, because you actually have to fill out some forms, and you also have to use your passport. Like, you have to use your passport to.
Is it in the embassy?
No, it's not an embassy, but it is a. I think you need to be certified to be a exam center for PTE. So they do collect your info. So you need your passport. I think the rest is they collect. Yeah, they do collect some information at the exam center, like your biometrics.
Fingerprint?
Yeah. They do.
Why?
They do. They do. Because the PTE can actually be used to apply for a citizenship. Oh no, not citizen. What is it? For a PR.
Residence.
Yeah, for PR in Australia. And I think for PTE, the higher marks you get, the higher chance. I think the higher points of. I think those are like immigration points. I don't know what to yeah. So I think the higher points you get, the better it'll be when you do apply for PR. So yeah, they do collect information, but for the IELTS, I think again I haven't taken the updated test, so I'll just give you the info. But if you're in Mandalay, you have to go to the exam center. Not an exam center. I think in Mandalay you have to. The most recent one is the hotel all the way up in 35th Road, and it is. You have to. I think for IELTS you have to take the reading, listening, and writing, and then speaking on a different day. So you actually have to worry about 3 subjects on the first day, and then it can be interchanged.
So different day?
Yeah, different day. So like it depends on your it depends on the different dates that you booked. For some speaking would be first, but for others there are reading, writing, and then listening is first. But yeah, it's a 2-day. Yeah, IELTS is a 2-day thing. Yeah.
A friend of mine go in Bangkok. She took in Century Square, but it's 1 day, just one at a time. She took three tests, not speaking. She took 3 tests and then she rest a bit and then go into the listening.
Yeah, that's
the same day.
Yeah. I think even in the again, I think it might be different on the country, right? But you do get breaks.
Yeah.
You do get break. I don't know, or breaks or break. It might be a thing. It might be a singular thing. But yeah, you do get break. You do get a break in between. Yeah.
Every exam has a tips and tricks, right? Like what kind of tips and tricks you want to mention for PTE and IELTS?
Ooh. Okay, I'm not gonna comment on the IELTS because I think it's the same with the IELTS. Like you, one thing that you have to. I think it's both for PTE and IELTS. I think you should bring a hoodie before you go into the exam room, because for me, at least for the PTE exam center, it's very, very cold. It's very cold. They crank up the AC, and it was really cold. And make sure to pee before the exam, because they don't let you go to the toilet. Because
and also poop, right?
just do everything. Take care of that sort of stuff before you go in. And I think it counts. If you're a nervous person, just try to bring a fidget spinner or a fidget toy to play with. But I don't think that would be productive. Especially on my home. So yeah, I would say that bring something warm. It could be a hoodie, it could be an outerwear, it could be anything, because it's really cold in the exam room. And just try to keep your anxiety and nervousness to the lowest. Try to stay calm. Even if you can't answer the questions, it's not the end of the world, So just stay calm. But the most important one would be, don't try to focus on one question while you miss 5 others. If you're unsure about one question, you're unsure about the answer, just move on, right? Just by not letting it go, by not moving on, you could be giving up the next 2 marks or 3 marks. So I would say that move on, try to accept the losses.
Yeah.
Try to accept.
Otherwise, we lost other things too.
Yeah.
Can you discuss a little bit like how you learn, but like when you think your English like really improve, what time, like what kind of thing when you do? I understand like English is not like shortcut thing, right? Yeah, we have to learn like a long way, right?
Yeah.
We learn a long way, but like what how to say, what after you do something like if you feel like improvement a lot, what things, that kind of thing.
Okay, I think it depends on the language, right? Because I have friends who learn Japanese and they can speak fluent Japanese in like 2 years of learning. But for English, I think English is very unique because it's a language that keeps evolving, right? Like there are words that we don't even know we don't even pay attention anymore. Like this, like abbreviations, like LOL, LMAO. So those are, I think English as a language is gonna keep evolving to a point where you need to keep up. And I don't think you really need to you don't really need to put in a lot of effort to keep yourself up to date with the English language, because everything that we do is in English, right? If you look at programming, everything is based in English. If you look at movies, most of them are in English because of Hollywood. So just by having just by keeping a tab, it could be anything. It could be watching a TV series, it could be reading an article, it could be watching a movie, it could be talking to a friend, it could be reading a book, anything that you can do to keep yourself up to date with the language, it will be helpful in the long run. Then again, like you said, it's English is a lifelong learning.
Yeah.
Like you can't really stop in the middle. Like, but there are languages like again, like I think for me, like English is gonna keep evolving to a point, and it won't stop.
Yeah.
It won't stop because of how the language is used all over the world, and I think it goes back to different regions too, right? If you look at Australia, the way they use English is different. If you look at the British, the way they use English is different. The same thing with America, and the same thing with Canada. So I don't think you really have to keep tabs on all of those regions. Just pick one. It doesn't have to be like this. It could be just like something that you do, but it is in English. Right? It could be like reading an article. So again, like if you get yourself to a certain stage, you don't really need to do a lot, right? Like us right now, we don't really study English an hour. So we just use it in our daily lives, and then reading up stuff, and then googling stuff. So I think it might be a little bit difficult when you're starting out, but you have to be patient. It's a lifelong learning thing. So yeah.
What I really admire you is like when you write something is totally different level from me. I know like how do you improve like your writing? Like, you have a lot of words, like new words. I understand that. Like, how do you improve?
Everyone is like, this guy is speaking. No. He's not talking like he's like. I would say that I think it depends on the vocabulary levels, right? I think everyone
is also vocab. Like what do you use sometimes? Like I don't even know the meaning. Like I know the meaning, but I don't use normally.
Yeah.
Or how do you go that level? So for me, I know English, but I don't write that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, come to think of it, it is a little bit different, right? Some of the words that I would say that I don't think they're poetic, right?
Not poetic, but rich. You can see that you're rich in vocabulary, right?
Yeah, that's because I have a higher vocabulary count. So I would say that I think the more words you know, the better you can utilize them in different contexts.
We're talking about the writing. I asked him like how he write, because he helped me write some part in my like statement of purpose, and also like some motivation letter. So he write very beautifully, and I want to know how he write about that. So.
Oh, I wouldn't say I write beautifully, but it's a certain level, right? It's a certain level, but yeah, I think just by reading what other people write, it's really helpful, because you can actually start to imitate it. You can actually copy some of their writing styles and the words that they use, and again, it goes back to your word knowledge, your vocabulary knowledge. So if you know a lot of words, you can use them. You can use them, because the beautiful thing about English language is that you can mix and match some of the words and use them in a very beautiful and contextual way. So so yeah, I would say that it depends on your vocabulary levels and your reading levels, because the more, like, I think it depends on what kind of stuff you read too. Like, you can read about useless, pointless things, and they're not going to help you increase your English level. But if you read articles, if you read blog posts, if you read those examples, essays that others wrote about IELTS writing, you can definitely learn a lot from other people. Yeah.
And you also give a lot of suggestions. Let's talk like friendly, generally. But after you've been here in Thailand for around 5 months, right? 5 or 6 months?
4.
4 months.
Wait, 4. I got here in end of July, so August, September, October, November, so 4
months. So
yeah.
How's your like experience with Thai people, like in English, like what's the experience in English with Thai people?
Okay.
On campus or off campus?
On campus, everyone is helpful. I think the same with the off campus. Everyone is helpful, but on campus, I think a lot of Thai students here, even the undergrads, they understand English, and they'll try to help you as much as they can. Even, let's say that you're lost or you're going to a place. If you're on campus on Chula, everyone is helpful. You can go to a staff, you can go to a security guard, you can go to a student. they'll be able to help you with anything that you want. Like, they'll try to help you as much as they can. But off campus, the problem is the language barrier. You don't really expect, because again, like, I wouldn't say that Thai people are worse in English. No, they're not. But the one thing that threw me off at least, is that when you go into a 7-Eleven and you try to say, like, how much is this, and they'll reply you back in Thai, which again, like I would say that it depends on the person, right? For me, like, if like I came from, my work environment was like native speakers. Like, I worked at an international school, so I was expecting an English response, and it's partly my fault too. But yeah, they'll try to help you. They'll try to tell you in Thai. They understand most of the things that we said, but they cannot say back. They cannot reply you back in English. So there is definitely a language barrier. But again, Thai people are very helpful, kind of like our people too. So I don't think you'll find any problems when it comes to your day-to-day life conversation. But you can definitely learn a few sentences here and there just to help you.
I think it's important, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't survive well.
Yeah.
And like, you also live in Japan, right? And how about the English in Japan? And like, what's the difference between and there?
So I
Here
think
and there?
for so I think right now I'm in Bangkok, right, the center of Thailand. Back in Japan, I was in this little town around 2 hours away from Tokyo. So I would say we call it the countryside in Thailand, in Japan. So not a lot of people who speak English there. But you do see if you go around. So we have one central train station in that little town. If you go to the train station, you'll see foreigners like just stopping by on their way. But like if you go anywhere else, like I don't think like you can actually count it on your one hand every time you see a foreigner. I don't think I've seen a foreigner, to be honest, when I was living in Japan. But that's because the location, it is pretty like villagey, I would say. But I don't want to use village because that village is actually much better than our city.
Developed, right? Developed village.
it's a village but developed. So yeah, they're 100 times better than our city. Yeah.
And like, is it foreigner friendly? Like, I mean, for me, I go to some countryside in Thailand. It's like, it's not, nothing is in English, you know, right? It's in the menu and everything. It's not in English. How about in
Japan? Around the station, yeah. Around that little main station, there are English signs. There, you can actually go to shops. We had, I believe we had Starbucks, and we had Lotteria. We had...
In Thailand, we don't have Lotteria.
Yeah, they don't have Lotteria here. So we had Lotteria in Japan, in that little train station. But I think if you are going to, let's say that you're going to walk in Japan or you're going to visit Japan, I think it's better to just enjoy local foods, right? But if you, I think it depends on the location, because if you, let's say that you live on the countryside in a villagey area, you do have to go into that main, central hub of that village, which was a station for me. So it's like you do have to go to the train station if you want to get a Starbucks. But you don't have to do that in Thailand. You can be on the countryside, just go to like, I think in Thailand, like the transportation, it's really like the system is much better than our country. So you can have Starbucks even if you are on the countryside, even if you are going to visit a village nearby. But yeah. But again, like I think why would you, let's say that you're visiting Thailand, why would you want a foreign brand? You would much enjoy the local foods and all of the stuff that you can get from that local, like that area. So just enjoying the culture. But I think for us, like I think I speak for most of the Myanmar here, our culture are very similar, so you don't really miss home that much. But personally for me, I do miss my home. I do miss my dad. I do miss my home. But yeah, I think it's just the change of like scenery and environment. It's like it threw me off, right? It threw me off when I got here. It threw you off too, right? Because you're homesick. You want to go back, and it was just. I would say that the first month of me being here is not the best version of me. I would say that. But right now I'm a little bit better.
I don't judge him. He tried to go back like a lot. Also for me, that's why I don't judge him. I know how it feels to be here. And so. How about Thai English accent? Is it difficult to understand for you when you first? For me, like I think that for me, I think like we cannot speak full sentence. Mostly we cannot speak full sentence.
Yeah.
If they speak, they lost.
Yeah. You purposely have to use broken English. Like you can't tell them a full sentence and then expect them to understand. But like, here's one thing. Here's a tip that I get from a friend of mine, not a friend of mine, just someone that I know. Like, let's say that you're Myanmar, right? You're having trouble communicating. Just yell out help in Myanmar, and someone a Myanmar person will come and help you. But I think it might be different if you're from a different country, like no. But I would say that like, even here, like that, Bangkok is very multicultural. I would say that there's a lot of Indians here. There's a lot of I think you can easily find halal food here. So even some of the fast food are halal. So you might have to do your own research if you're coming to visit. But
but there's some Indian or some restaurant you can speak Urdu. Their language is like some of their language is Urdu. They can even like find something like this.
Oh yeah, about that too, right? Even like let's say that we're talking about Indians, like they don't speak Indian. There are a lot of like multiple language even in India. So I think you can't really, you have to be wary of that. But overall, I think most of the foreign restaurants, they can speak English. Even I think that's partly why most of the foreigners visiting Bangkok would like go eat at fast food restaurants. But I mean, if I were you, let's say that you are an American, right? And you see a McDonald's, right? You see that golden arch, right? You feel like home if you go into that, right? But it's a totally different experience. It could be, I would say that, some people do feel homesick, and then they try to eat the food that helps them, helps them with that. But again, like you get so much cheaper food and better food outside. I wouldn't say that they're healthy. I think they're the same level when it comes to health. Like I think it's the same whether you get a burger from McDonald's here in Bangkok or eat outside food. But I think the levels of oil that they put into dishes are the same as us.
I think for me it affects, like I use spoken language, right? And also like at the end, like I put some na or like crop or something like this, right? It affects me. Like when I talk to some people, I try to put it at the end. Like it affects me. I live here like almost 4 years. I think I'm not blaming them, but my English is like a little bit. I'm not trying to improve anymore. I just used to say, and then like I think my English like a little bit like less something. I feel like that after like
That is there's the thing that I'm worried. That is something that you need to be mindful of, because like let's say like let's say that you're studying in a native speaking country, right? English, like if you are surrounded by native speaker, you're going to improve, right? Your level is going to be improved. But in a country like Thailand, where not a lot of people use English, and most of them who do use English they use broken language. So but I mean, if you are in Chular, you're around the academic circle, so most of the professors they do speak better English than you, and they are better, and they have a lot of I think the good thing is that they have a lot of experience when it comes to dealing with different students from different countries, so they can actually guide you in a good direction, like and you just need to follow that, and you do have to put in your own effort, but the general English here that you use outside would be a little bit lower. But if you are in an academic circle, you can improve, but you don't have to. You can just keep the same level, but you don't have to, but you can if you want to. And there are undergrad students here that can speak a good level of English.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
So I have an experience like on the bus, right? There's some Myanmar people come up and like they try to go somewhere. They tell the like bus station name, but the car doesn't go there. So like they keep saying in the full sentence, and the bus the bus like the staff cannot understand, right? So I have to help them. But they speak in English now, you know, right? But I speak broken, and then it's okay, and I help them. So I have a few experience of that.
Yeah. So one thing when it comes to taxi here is that don't try to speak them in a full sentence. Just say the name of the place that you want to go, and then that's it.
No. Like let's say Chatuchak, right? Chatuchak meter, I always use that.
Yeah. You also have to use your body language too, because it really does help. And I think Thai in general, they know their weakness, and they are improving because they are hiring a lot of foreign English teachers. But then again, like I would say that it all depends on you as a person. If you want to improve your English, you will. Doesn't matter if you have you might have a very excuse my language, shitty start, but you can improve yourself. Like it doesn't really matter. But here, they are hiring a lot more English teachers here. But foreigners, like I see a lot of Filipino teachers, even Myanmar teachers too. There's like if you go look at kindergartens, like there are Myanmar teachers who are here teaching English, teaching all of the other subjects. But it's good that Bangkok is multicultural, because you can learn a lot from other people, right? Other cultures. But I mean it's overall it's a chill place to live, right? It's a chill place. You don't really you can improve on all of the, like you can improve on any skills that you want, but you don't have to. You can continue living, but it's a very it's different. I just want to say it's different. It gives you a very unique way of life, you know.
Okay, I think we can wrap up. So any suggestion or what to say to my viewers?
Don't take everything I said literally, because I'm not I don't try to research your own. Just don't take everything that we said literally, and I think overall it's again, like I think the way you look at it, there are things that you can do to increase your level of English, but I would say that learning is very subjective. It depends on person to person, though. So I would say that follow what works for you, right? And I think it's the best there is.
Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it's helpful for you. And if you want to listen some kind of podcast like related to Thailand or study or with the academic life, please comment in the comment section. And can I link your Instagram or no?
My Instagram? I don't really use Instagram.
Okay.
I don't really use Instagram.
Okay.
But I use Facebook Messenger. But I mean, why? I mean, if you want to, I'm there. I use Messenger. I don't use any other social media. So,
So if he okay, I will put the link of his Instagram. So or Facebook, you can follow him. Okay, so that's all for today's video. Bye bye. See you in the next video.